Fraud, House Doge Caucus co-chair, Congressman Pete Sessions. Congressman, great to see you. By the way, this is really rewarding to know and to get proof that exactly what Doge was talking about is exactly what we're seeing unfold in Minnesota.
Well, in fact, you're correct, but we have mostly been concerned about government money intentionally going to people that we did not know what we were doing. This is perhaps maybe the reverse of that, and that is money that was well intended to take care of daycare, take care of senior citizens, take care of children in their education. A lot of great things about those comments, but the bottom line is that it was fraud. And this is where our Government Reform and Oversight Committee has now opened up a full investigation. Our lead investigators are involved in this, and they are working with the Department of Justice, and they are going to figure out the things about this. Now, one question is, why are we just now learning? And that is because the media in Minnesota has known about this for a long, long time. There were people that went and reported this, whistleblowers, and the media did not report it. And so one would have to say, my gosh, if the whistleblowers didn't hear anything back officially, well, the bottom line is that's what we're doing now.
By the way, you grew up with an FBI director as your dad, and so you have it kind of in your blood, the investigative spirit, the power of the federal government, what they can do. What do you think about what we've heard so far? There's a picture of your dad we put up there. He was a great FBI director. What do you think of what we know so far of Governor Walz, in some cases actually berating some of the whistleblowers, according to the social service members, berating them for coming forward and saying, look, Governor, there's fraud going on. He not only berated them, but apparently, according to them, he threatened them. Doesn't that make him liable? You know, there's a state law in Minnesota, a whistleblower's law, that's pretty tough.
Well, exactly as you suggest. These are what this investigation's about. And I will be pleased to tell you that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, my father's old agency, is on the case. And what does this mean? This means that they will interview people and find out with the understanding that, as you know, when they ask these questions, if they are misled or lied to, then that means that the person who is misleading them could be guilty of not just perjury, but other measures also. And so this is where having the FBI as part of that official investigation, even into the state activities, because it's federal money, is important. And I'm very pleased to suggest to you that we are now on the case and looking across the country also.
And by the way, the Attorney General, I think if there is complicity, and again, it has to, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but the AG of the state, Keith Ellison, was meeting with a lot of the fraudsters. There's an audio tape of him back in 2021, I believe it was, with some of the people who've already been prosecuted for crimes in these Medicaid scandals. And he's talking at the end of the conversation about donations to his campaign. I mean, is it conceivable that the records could show that there was some complicity there?
Well, I think anything is conceivable because you've got the circumstance where the conditions were right for this. The Attorney General and his laxness evidently in getting to the bottom line. No one would ever, a federal official or state official that I know of, would be a part of an investigation that then would ask, okay, what's my cut in the deal? And evidently that is what the accusation is. We will find out, and so will the FBI. And these are important matters. So when we started the top of the show, you talked about Doge.
Yeah.
We talked about the things which we have heard for a long time. Isn't it interesting that this finds itself at the feet of Governor Tim Walz?
Congressman, one final point, which is that these horrific scandals come in light of all these questions about whether we're going down the right route in terms of continual bailouts of Obamacare and expansion of Medicaid. Obviously, you don't want to pour more good money in a bottomless pit, which is what Obamacare and more Medicaid itself appear to be. At least the money's being directed away from the people who deserve it to people who certainly don't, fraudsters. How will this scandal affect that larger debate?
Well, I think the larger debate sits on its own facts of the case, and that is the Affordable Care Act, the prices that are demanded and charged to consumers have risen 2/3 higher than the general population for insurance. And this is something I was on Obamacare, many members of Congress are, and Obamacare is by far the most expensive as compared to the marketplace, and yet it reimburses 60% less than those other plans, which means you don't get the doctor or the help you really need.
Right. Congressman Pete Sessions is on it, and we're glad to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Well, Homeland Security releasing new video today